Let's dive into PT Everywhere's charting and payment features. I arrive at the patient dashboard where on the left-hand column is a list of all of our patients. There are 7 appointments today. My 4 appointments are listed first, and any other practitioner's appointments are listed below that. I can see the patient service and appointment time scheduled, as well as the last time the patient has logged into his or her account. If it says pending first login, the patient has not yet created a password. I can create a custom list of patients by pinning patients. By clicking the hamburger menu, the 3 stacked lines, you can pin or unpin patients to add them to this list. I can email any group of patients here by clicking the email button and selecting who my recipients are. Everyone that receives an email will be blind carbon copied, so they will not see each other's names, and any replies to this email will go to the clinic administrator's email. On the top of the left-hand column, next to the word appointments, I can click on the underlined day text to pull up a calendar and view appointments on a different day. Payment and charting indicators next to each patient's name help you identify whether or not an invoice is not paid, red, whether it's paid, green, or whether it's not yet created, there, black. The green check mark lets you know that a note is finalized. Also next to each patient's name, you'll see a hamburger menu or 3 stacked lines. This provides the same function that you can find on your schedule by right-clicking on Windows or 2-finger tapping or control-clicking if you are using a Mac. So when you check in a patient, that creates a note. When I select View Treatment Note, that will create the note and take you to the note. So you can do that either from the schedule or from the dashboard. So now you arrive here in the charting section. If you've seen the patient before, you can click the More menu and select Copy Last Note to bring forward all the information or selected information from a previous note. If this is your patient's first visit, or if you choose not to copy a previous note, simply click the Edit button and you can jump straight into working on your note. The default note here is a SOAP note with different text boxes, but you are able to create your own templates and choose a template here under the Select Template drop-down menu. All of these templates can be created and edited in Account Settings Treatment Note Templates. Also at the top, you'll see Add ICD-10 code. So when you add an ICD-10 code, that opens a case. So this diagnosis code will appear on all of your patient's notes and all of your patient's super bills. There are about 95,000 diagnosis codes. So you would click on the code, add the green check mark by clicking OK, and then click Done, and now you have opened the case. So you won't have to do this again for any of your patient's notes or super bills. Below that are all of your procedure codes. All of these CPT codes are listed here, and I can search for these. For instance, I'm going to look for therapeutic exercises and neuromuscular re-ed, add those codes, and then I can add units. Now, the nice thing about your treatment note templates is you can pre-populate your notes with codes that are frequently used, so you don't have to do the searching that I just did, although that is fairly easy. Within these text boxes, you can obviously type text. If you're using the mobile app, tap the microphone on your keyboard and you can dictate text. And you're also able to use the rich text tools. So Control B to bold, Control I to italicize, Control U to underline, or you can also click the buttons when the text is highlighted there as well. At the top, you'll see that it is saving automatically for you about every 15 seconds. I can click the Save button, which will allow me to return later, and click the Edit button to finish the note. Or I can click the Finalize button, which will lock the note, and it will also add your signature and a timestamp at the bottom of the note. Once you finalize a note, there is an Add Addendum button at the top, which will allow you to add any additional information beyond the finalized note. The More menu will allow you to print or download a note, so your signature will be listed there in the top left-hand corner. And again, if it's finalized, there's your signature and timestamp there at the bottom. Now that the note's finalized, let's take a look at collecting payment. Now, you really can do this at any time. You can actually check out the patient before you check them in. So I can go to the More menu and click Check Out. I can do that from the schedule, or I can do this from the hamburger menu here on the left-hand column by selecting Checkout. It's going to take me here from charting to payment. Any and all ICD-10 and CPT codes that you added on the treatment note will reflect here on the invoice, or you can add these here on the invoice and they will reflect to your note. Each service scheduled has a unique name and price, but you can change the service at checkout by clicking on it before you select Save to create the invoice. Once the invoice is created, you don't have to download it, you don't have to print it, you don't have to email it to the patient. This goes directly to the patient's portal. So if they choose to download this or print this, they're able to do this. We call it an invoice, but this is effectively a super bill. This simple one-page document provides everything that your patients need to submit to insurance for their out-of-network benefits, if applicable. Now, you are able to adjust the pricing on these invoices. You can add a fee, and you can actually label the fee and add it as a percentage or a dollar amount. This will add a line item to the invoice, and it will have your label on there. And likewise, you can add a promotion. So if you want to add a discount, select Add Promotion. You can also add that as either a percentage or a dollar amount, and that will also add a line item to the invoice, which will be labeled Provider Discount. This maintains its status as a super bill because the unit prices remain unchanged, the service prices remain unchanged, but you are able to easily adjust this. Click the blue Pay Now button in the top right-hand corner to record payment. Immediately, you will only have two options, which are Pay by Cash or Pay by Check. The Pay by Check option will allow you to enter a check number or any information that you want to enter for internal purposes after selecting Pay by Check. Returning to the main screen of the patient's payment tab, you'll see you have the option to add a card on file. The patient can also do this, and this will be active once you set up a CardPoint account, so be on the lookout for an email from Copilot. This will also work once you swipe a card or key in a card one time. It will be securely stored and linked to the patient's profile for future visits. Hopping over to clinic settings, you will be able to create and or edit packages so patients can pre-purchase a set number of sessions in advance, and the system will track these for you and count them down, apply any discount, and create individual super bills for these sessions. So here is a package of 6 follow-up visits created in clinic settings. And when I return to the patient's payment tab, I'll click Add Invoice, and I want to create an invoice for a package and membership. I will select the package from the Choose a Package or Membership drop-down menu. And then I can also backdate this, so I can choose a date that the package starts. Click Save to create the package invoice and collect payment for the package invoice by clicking the blue Pay Now button in the top right-hand corner. PT Everywhere will allow you to offer and manage payment plans for your patients. You are not required to collect the full amount. In fact, you can change the payment amount and choose a payment method, and that will leave a balance on the invoice so you can come back and pay another installment or pay the balance at a later time, like I'm doing now. So I'll come in here and I'll see the balance. I can choose to edit the payment amount again to make an installment payment or pay the full balance. Going back to the patient's payment tab main screen, I see that she has a package that includes 6 follow-up sessions beginning on December 23rd. This visit is a follow-up visit that falls within that date range, so I now have the option to pay by package. Applying this package as payment provides individual super bills for your patients. It's also going to do the math for you to calculate any discounts and ensure that the amount collected is accurately reflected. And even though this is another invoice, it tells the system that this was paid for by package. This is not duplicate revenue, so it helps keep your accounting clean in that manner. On the main screen of the payment tab, you now see that there are 5 out of 6 sessions remaining. You also see that under Purchase Details, where under Purchase Details, you can also adjust the number of remaining sessions, so you can manually remove sessions from a patient's package. You can void an invoice that's paid by a package. And once a package is completely paid, where there's a $0 balance, you're going to have the ability to share packages or transfer sessions from one patient to another. So in this example, there are 5 sessions remaining. So let's send 2 sessions from Billy Joe's package over to Ashley. So you have the ability to do that by clicking Transfer. And then now when we go over to Ashley's payment tab, we'll see that she has a package or a transferred package of 2 follow-up visits. And she has an invoice here that's unpaid, so it will pop up Pay by Package or Membership. So I can apply the transferred package from Billy Joe to Ashley, and returning to Billy Joe's payment tab, you'll see that she now has 3 remaining sessions. She's used 1 and she's transferred 2 out of her 6-session package. When it's time to take a look at your KPIs, your key performance indicators, your business metrics, your clinical outcomes, go to admin and you'll see a report section here on the left-hand column with a lot of helpful data. We will start in the charting report where you can see your documentation progress over a selected time period. So I can see all of my open treatment notes versus finalized notes. The cases report will group all of your patients by ICD-10 code or diagnosis. You may want to click hide filter based on your screen size. And here are all of my low back pain patients and their email addresses and total number of visits. The provider revenue report is going to show you all revenue regardless of status, so checked in or checked out. You'll see all your packages, all of your invoices that are not paid by package. And I can click on columns here to sort. I can also export this to Excel to bring this into some type of accounting software if you choose to do that. Go to the general visit report if you want to see appointment data. This will show you all of your visits that have been checked in. And the payroll report will show you all of your visits that have been checked out. You have the ability in clinic settings, services and classes management to assign a service rate, so a dollar amount or a percentage amount. This will provide the information that you need to pay your employees or contractors. Be on the lookout. We are continuing to add more and more reports, but we hope this helps get you started. Let us know if you have questions.